Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Grim Dawn. The adventures of our accidentally hardcore soldier continue.
I can't do that yet.
And this episode, we're not heading north as you might have expected. We are heading to the southeast because we have to continue to explore towards a Tyrant's Hold because it holds a devotion shrine that I kind of really want.
Do that yet.
Well, there's a lot of interesting things in the devotion tree, but in order to get them, we need points. So, therefore, we are a slave to the devotion shrines. We must worship them all, or liberate them all, or cleanse them all, or however you want to describe our relationship with the devotion shrines. Either way, we at least want to touch them all.
That skill's not ready.
In the process, we are gonna go to the shaded basin, and there's gonna be a couple of folks there that could definitely use our help. Also, I just realized I went a little bit too far to the east. Should have taken this side of the intersection. But there's gonna be a couple of folks that are representing the Black Legion, and they can use our help, and they will help us get a reputation with the Black Legion up. 3 dynamite, we had 8, so we still have 5 left after this. And now we can truly continue.
I can't do that yet.
So if you didn't stick around the entirety of last episode, because it was a rather long episode, I went for a little bit of an overview of all the gear you can buy at the Devil's Crossing faction vendor, at least the very first tier that we have access to now. And in the end I settled on getting myself a new body armor and new shoulder pads. Upside of that is we now have a ton more health, and our regeneration has been seriously buffed. So as you might notice, even without having Overguard active, we're doing pretty good in terms of health regeneration. We are taking some serious punishment here, and now that I have switched on Overguard, our health is just going up and out regenerating it. This is one of the design goals of this build, right? It's a sustain tank, health regen, some lifesteal, and lots of damage, reflection, retaliation, good stuff like that. A book about the dangerous roads. I think it might also be known as a map, because all the roads here are dangerous these days. Ooh, happy coincidence, there's some hidden chests here. That's always the case. If you just look around hard enough, you will find secrets tucked away everywhere. But our new armor and our new shoulder pads. This one gives +1 to Overguard, so Overguard is now at 13 out of 12. Yes, it's +1. So it's stronger. It boosts our regeneration more, which is the primary reason we have it. Also, it side effects like increasing the amount of damage that we block goes up, the damage absorption goes up, things like that. There is a ruined shrine over there. Can we see it all the way from here? Yeah, it's pretty cool. I never realized. I thought you had to go to there to actually see it. This was a nice teaser. Because really, you can't get there without going through this entire area. And if you're here, you might as well do all the quests. That's sort of kind of my line of reasoning, and probably line of reasoning that other people have as well. So we will help you. So what do you need? Kill some things. So Manticores are going to be our first mortal enemy here. Kill all the Manticores. Well, not all of them, but enough. Let's see, I'm getting slightly distracted by all the stuff on the side here, so just gonna disable what we don't really care about. We're gonna hunt for Manticores and Mogara in the Jagged Wastes, which is just a little bit further ahead. On the way there, there's all kinds of other things. Grobels, who are probably one of the least developed factions or races in the game. You don't really know a lot about them. There's no real quests that interact with them.
That skill's not ready.
They're sort of kind of scooped up by the beastkin, but I don't think the Grobels ever actually get turned. I don't remember seeing any ether corrupted Grobels. So maybe turns out that the Grobels are the saviors of mankind in the expansion. Who knows? Just speculating here. That would be hilarious. Until then, they are the goblins of the game, and therefore they are numerous, they are weak, and they must be killed.
I can't do that yet.
Hello there, Blackthorn. You are reflective. That makes you, well, sort of related to me, doesn't it? We're getting surrounded, so let's do a little bit of AoEing here. I'm trying to consciously hold off on using my Overguard until necessary in fights like these, because in this case our regeneration is more than enough to deal with this guy. Our energy regeneration, however, isn't. But it's probably a good sign, a sign of a good defensive build if you're drinking more energy potions than health potions. That means that you're doing something right in terms of setting up your defenses. So, first wave of Manticores.
That skill's not ready.
They have a chance of dropping the poison glands that we need. Not all of them drop them. And of course, being Manticores, they also have a small chance of dropping Manticore eyes, which is a rare crafting material.
I can't do that yet.
That was them. Let's actually head up here. That should take us into the wastes. Yeah. Ooh, dynamite. Well, we did spend 3 dynamite getting in here, so might as well look to getting it back. There's a witch doctor in here that needs to die, otherwise it's just gonna keep healing the Grobels. I believe we got all the healers, so then next up is gonna be the ranged guys, and that
skill's not ready.
Still really hard to tell whether you knock them back or whether you actually kill them with that knockback attack. That's the one downside of having a knockback on one of your primary attacks. But if that's the only thing that we have to complain about, then, well, could be worse. Okay, we're getting surrounded, so let's switch back to blade arcing. And there is a Manticore poison gland. So that's a quest item, and the interesting thing is they won't stop dropping until we hand in the quest. So might be that now they all start dropping these poison glands, and you will start seeing a lot of poison glands on the map, which is interesting but also slightly frustrating.
I can't do that.
I think we're actually gonna port back for this one specifically to hand it in to produce map confusion. So there it is nice that the Pine Barrens over here, or yeah, Pine Barrens actually has its own waypoint. It's useful for handing in the quests. I have the venom units. A hound down your beast. We get 100 reputation, Manticore venom, and a Manticore longsword. So we get multiple Manticore items. This one has a chance to do poison damage. This is a whole bunch of damage types we don't really use. This is the interesting bit. Manticore venom. This is an augment that you can socket into your weapon in addition to the component. So this is going to be a bit of green text below it. as an extra modifier you can apply. And this one adds poison damage and some extra damage against catonics. And applying it will make your item soulbound, so that means you can no longer put it into the shared stash. So if you are trying to use augments on legendary items, on epic items, set items, stuff like that, that you also want to use on other characters, or that you're only using for leveling up, for example, a leveling set that you will eventually grow out of, well, augmenting will effectively consume it as far as reuse is concerned. So if it's something that's hard to find, augmenting it is going to be a bit of a double-edged sword.
Can't do that yet.
Just gained a level. I have to remember to actually apply our levels. There's going to be even more regeneration. So you are nearly dead. You are also nearly dead. So, no sleeping on the job. Yes. They're all dead. So our current regeneration out of combat is 134.69. Putting points into Menhir's Bulwark is gonna bolster that by quite a bit. So we gain nearly 20 points from putting 3 points in here. Also, our across the board damage absorption goes up. We gain some extra physical damage, stun duration, constitution, resistance to life reduction, and bonus to retaliation damage. So across the board, we are getting a better, really nice skin. It's one of the reasons probably why with a soldier you want to get to your level 50, level 50 skill tier as soon as possible. Looked like there was an extra point there. It wasn't. Just to get Menhir's Bulwark. Because it is so nice.
That skill's not ready.
So we did get the follow-up quest to kill the Bloodbriar, old Bloodbriar in the shaded Basin. But first we're gonna go for Mogara, who is hiding around here somewhere.
That skill's
You're
not
a bit
ready.
bigger than the others, but you're just a monstrosity. You're not actually unique. Even though with that size it could have been. Okay. And more grubbles. You are a witch doctor, so you must die.
That skill's not ready.
Okay. And time to get surrounded a little bit and just murder them. Hey. Might want to go a bit to the upper and then to the left. I think there was another patch over there. Yeah, exactly. That's where Mogara resides. That's one of the advantages of having played through the game a couple times before. You eventually learn where you have to go, and you don't waste as much time navigating to places where you want to go, or need to go rather. That said, this game is so jam-packed with all kinds of good stuff. You will occasionally forget things, especially early on in Act 1. That area is so jam-packed with all kinds of interesting caves and side areas and challenges and things like that that you will forget stuff. It's just the nature of the beast. Well, that is the one thing. It does keep things interesting. If we do a bit of a compare and a contrast, there was a Manticore eye there that we picked up, and it's not in the inventory because we already had one, didn't we? That's our second one. Nice. But if you do a little bit of a compare and contrast with a game like Path of Exile, which is a very, you could almost say, traditional spiritual successor to Diablo 2. Nope, Grim Dawn descended from Titan Quest, which was specifically a
skill's not
counterpart or like a contemporary game of Diablo 2. And Path of Exile followed Diablo 2, while Grim Dawn came from Titan Quest.
Can't do that yet.
And they have a different school of thought behind them. Path of Exile you play for mechanics, you play for your character build, and the game is just an excuse to kill thousands, if not millions, of monsters and get stronger and find items and experiment with builds. No, it's all about experimenting with builds. While Grim Dawn, it's to a certain extent, let's see, where's the Pyramids? Yes. To a certain extent you are also doing that. But builds are in general mechanically less interesting, less varied, less extreme. And instead you're playing more for the experience, to experience the world, and there's just so many things to do in the world that it's interesting to do. So the focus on world versus character is different in both, and I guess that's one of the reasons why I play both games, because they both give you different things, so you get different things out of them.
Skill's not ready.
And as a result, that keeps things interesting for a longer time. You might have noticed we ended in the Mogara quest.
That skill's not ready.
And we have now picked up our sequence quest, or the successor quest, to kill Ungoliaths in the caves in the shaded Basin. And the spider cave where Ungoliaths is hiding is linked directly to the cave of Old Bloodbriar. After killing the spider, you can drop down a hatch, or a hole in the floor, basically, and more or less land inside of Old Bloodbriar's lair. Thing is, there is a cave over there, and the other cave is not very well advertised, if I remember things correctly. Also, 14% of attack damage is converted to health. That's an insane amount. I definitely think we should keep this Doomsoul apart and maybe do something fun with it. Because leeching that much life, well, that could help us stay alive even better. Because we're already getting 5% from the ring over here. The current one is current weapon has 8%, plus another 4 from the Hollow Fang, so we're at 17%. If we're gonna go from 8 to 14, that's another 6. Well, more lifesteal is more life that we steal, and better opportunity of staying alive. The Gloomweaver, yeah, that is the cave that we want. Good, we're getting things in the correct order here. It's always very nice when that happens.
That skill's not ready.
Ooh, look at how surrounded we are and how good our AoE works here. I really like it when things just work out. Okay, there is... Ooh, I had forgotten about this ruin shrine. There are 2 here. There's one in this cave, and the other one is at the fortress. Also, we're getting bombarded here by blood mages, so you see that we're taking quite some vitality damage. That's something we are not quite resisting.
I can't do that yet.
So, well, these guys are dangerous. There's no mistaking that. Because our resist at right now is at 34%. Well, could have been worse. We're not resisting ether or chaos at all. But most of the time, it's not until roughly this point where we do start finding the resists. Because you don't really need them either before this. There we widows. So we should get ourselves a reasonably exciting date with the Spider Queen here.
Can't do that yet.
Well, it's not technically the Spider Queen, but all other games have a Spider Queen, so we're just gonna call on Goliath the Spider Queen. Okay. Hello there, Terwi Arachnid. Oh, getting attacked from behind him. And that is because there is a path to the bottom. There. Okay. Most of these spiders will just perish in 1 or 2 hits. After all, spiders aren't known to be the tankiest of types. No, they're just dangerous. They are offensive. Ooh, there is the boss. Level 40. We are 36. We are currently fumbling. Okay, I'm overguarding here. Just to get a regen up a little bit, deal with the first couple of waves. Okay, flasking as well. Just to deal with the second part of the cooldown on Overguard, where we no longer have an Overguard, nor its effect. Now doing a switch between Overguard and a flask is pretty useful. I think we are pushing through, but this is definitely a tough bugger. And we got it. We got it. Okay. Okay. We got leg plate of valor. Pierce resistance and bleeding resistance. +2 to the scars of battle. That sounds like something we have, but there's just so many passives that I'm not even sure if it's actually ours or not, or where it is. Ah, scars of battle. Armor absorption, that's useful. Bleeding resistance, that's also useful. And stun and freeze duration resistance is also nice. So this is a useful set of pants. Level 40 though, so we can't quite use it just yet. Okay. More stuff, more green stuff even. This is a bit of a downgrade. This is a bit of an upgrade. There's a lot of extra armor on here. Some burn retaliation, which is nice. We lose out on a little bit of pierce resist. And a whole bunch of life. Okay, that's not worth it. Another cocoon and then a ruined shrine. What does it want? What do we need to feed it? A serrated spike. We happen to have one. We got 1 out of 3 bits. Then we pull out. Empty your pockets. And go back. Where's Homestead? There's Homestead. And let's see. You will buy our stuff. That's 5% health, some regen, no resists. Okay, don't care. Sell all the ranged stuff. That was a sword. This is a sword we don't use. Caster stuff. No leech. It's very easy to just dismiss some things as, oh, there's no leech, so don't care. +1 to counter strike, pierce resist, armor, bleeding damage. Well, less armor, so don't care. No health. Lower armor. Caster stuff. Caster stuff, caster stuff. Ooh, this is level 38. We're getting stuff that's slightly ahead of us. 10 health regeneration is nice, but the other mods, well, I really want resists on the belt, because resists are a weak point. So we want to get it from a belt where possible. Interesting. Elemental resists. Plus some pet bonuses which we don't care about. But the elemental resists are are potentially useful because we're not maxed out on them. Okay, we'll just put it in the final backpack and decide later. Pierce resistance, but I want reflection on this, so we don't care. This is offensive stuff, we don't care. I don't use one of potions. Caster, higher level. No retaliation on there. Pierce resist. But less other mods, so not really an upgrade. Health regen, but no resists. That's a bit of a common theme. Hey, pierce retaliation and some defensive ability. And more armor, but we will lose quite a bit of health. Put it in the final backpack, stave off the decision until later. This one rarely has any mods. Pierce resist, hey, retaliation and health. That's interesting. We will lose 60 resistance though. If this was a green one with these mods plus resists, then it would have been cool. Otherwise, nope. Already made a decision on these things. Less armor, so don't care. And this is yellow, and we don't care. Okay. So that's an empty pocket. We needed a spike thingamajig, so one of these things. We should have it. Actually, we have more than enough. So, I only needed one, so we're only using one.
I'll hold on to that for you.
Let's get back to it. To the waypoint in the shaded basin. And then we offer the thing and we get our points and we get some more bonuses. So, devotion. We are working on Targo the Builder. And continue working on Targo the Builder is what we do. Get about 200 health from this, I estimate. We were at 65, now we're at 67. So that's nice. Also, we killed the Spider Queen. And I remember there being an exit that we could take to get into the other cave, because they were linked. Ooh, so we're gonna have to have a look, a little bit of a look. Oh, we're surrounded, snows, whatever shall we do? Okay, that is whatever we shall do. Cave exit. That's just a regular exit. Am I confusing dungeons again? That's very possible. At some point you will start mixing up caves, and that's one of the strengths, because there's just so freaking many caves in this game. They could almost put it as like a bullet point on Steam. We have so many caves, you will mix them up. Doesn't solve the problem though that we...
That skill's not ready.
Do want to find Old Bloodbriar and murder him. But for now we're stuck dealing with overgrown goblins. Or oversized goblins even. Was there a healer in here? Maybe. Maybe not. We'll just murder all of them, just to be certain. So we went from there to here. And next to a witch doctor. Excellent. And that turned into a warrior. So there's two types of targeting in this game. You've got the default targeting, which is whatever you hover over becomes your target, and no matter if you hold your mouse or not, if you move your cursor around, you will automatically lock onto whatever your mouse is hovering over at that specific second, or that specific moment even.
That skill's not ready.
You can, in the settings, also enable classic targeting, which basically makes your targeting focus like a target lock. So if you click a opponent, it will be locked to it. Well, actually, I'll actually show you. Classic targeting. So if you start attacking it, and my mouse is now over here, or over other things, but I'm still attacking the Drago Tyrant. And I can use abilities with just by pressing the numbers, and they will be used against the target that I'm locking. And it's only by clicking on something else that you will switch targets. And this, well, for some characters it works better than others. But I noticed that especially when using a skill like Blitz, you first need to click something and then you can blitz to it. You can't just hover over something and then blitz to it, because the first click will effectively count as a click. So the classic targeting, it's almost nice, but it just doesn't feel right. And in situations where you want to kill a specific target, no, then it's useful. But when you're not hunting specifically for priests or witch doctors or healer equivalent for other factions, then the classic targeting is definitely a step down. Okay, our cave, anyone? At this point we cleared most of the area, so you would expect it to be somewhere nearby.
I can't do that yet.
I'm also looking at the timer and I see we've already passed half an hour on this episode. So, you know what? I'm gonna split this episode. Gonna go back to the Pine Barrens. We are gonna hand in the spider quest. And then next episode we're gonna continue with Old Blood Prior. And we're gonna go onwards. Because, well, we still have to go to Tyrant's Hold to get the other devotion shrine. So, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And I will see you again next episode. We continue the hunt for the elusive Old Blood Prior. And after that, we're gonna kill ourselves the tyrant, and it's gonna be glorious. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.